Hey, Eagle Run 2-3 here. Working on a little ultra compact 1911 tonight. The last time I shot this, I was having some trouble with the safety engaging, and so I actually ordered in a couple of parts here. Now, normally I would buy a higher quality part than this, but I just grabbed these on Amazon because I just didn't know if I needed them. They're from Fusion Firearms. I got them on Amazon. So I've got a plunger tube, the actual plunger, and then the spring is in there as well. So my thought was I might need to unstake this plunger and then maybe restake it. So, but anyway, I was messing with it and it was working just fine on the dry fire. So maybe some of that oil I put in there has got in there and got it all. Well, let me tell you the whole story. The whole story is that the plunger tube had worked loose in the back, and so I like to DIY everything. So I thought, oh man, I'll figure out how to fix that. Well, the fix is you buy a $35 part, and it allows you to restake your plunger tube. So I followed the instructions. I put a drill bit in here, and I put the clamp on it, and I restaked my plunger tube, which you're not going to be able to see it, but if you know anything about 1911s, that plunger tube goes right there. If not, it's not probably something you need to worry about too much. But okay, so I restaked it. Well, it turns out that I think I crushed my plunger tube, and I made it maybe out of round, and so those parts couldn't slide in there. So I kind of was frustrated with the gun, and I put it away. Well, then I think I got a deal on some 45 ammo, and so I pull it out and I start playing with this, and I think I've got it loosened up. So I went and shot it. Everything functioned fine. At the end of the range session, my safety will no longer engage, and so I figured, well, that's just crushed in there too much, and it's rubbing, and it's not allowing the plungers to work against the safety and to work against the takedown lever. So that's where this came from. And I got this in a couple weeks ago, and I thought, well, I'll just put that together whenever I have time. And so now I'm looking at it tonight when I have some time, and it looks like I might be all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lube this again, and I'm going to reassemble it. I had ran out of this ballistol, and I think it might be a little bit finer than the rim oil that I normally use. So I'm going to see if I can just work that in there. Some on the slide. And let's put this back together and see how it's doing. See, that's really just the way it's supposed to be. There it goes. Well, it is tight because it wouldn't let it go in. So there's just a plunger that's resting in a spring in between, and there's a plunger on each end, and it causes your tension to be on the detent for the, well, it's a detent or a plunger, I'm not for sure, but it rubs against the safety and it clicks in there and there. That's working fine now. And then it appears that the slide release is going to, let's see what this does. One of the things I had trouble with was when I slammed a magazine in, it racked it. So I might need to do a little bit of filing on that right there, but let's see if yeah, that's no good. I need to work on that. All right. The problem is, oh yeah, that is severely worn. See if you can see how worn that is. I might try to file it and sharpen that point up, but I'm going to have to replace this. Alright, so what I'm trying to do here with the file, and again, this part really needs to be replaced. I'm just kind of tinkering with it to see if I can get something functional. So this fits right in that groove on the slide. And so what's happening is when that pressure from slamming a new magazine comes in, this doesn't have enough friction here because this is rounded off, and this in here might have a little bit of wear in it too. So between the two of them, you're not getting a good, a friction point for them to lock up together. So I'm trying to increase the surface area here so that maybe they can get a little bit better of a lockup. So let's throw this together here real quick and see. Boy, it definitely goes further up inside the groove. Let's test it. Oh, wow, we might have made some progress there. I'm sure eventually it'll come out. Wow, I might have fixed it just like that. Ah, there it goes. Oh well, at least that's an improvement. This was a used gun when I bought it. My thought is that when people use and they train and they use the thumb to drop that instead of what would be proper, which would be to actually reach over and pull it back. I think that that's probably a byproduct of that. I've had this gun for, gosh, 8 years or more, 6, 7, 8 years, and I probably haven't shot more than 300 or 400 rounds through it, and it didn't appear to have been shot much more than that before I bought it. I might shoot that a few times and see what happens.